Good morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. We have 90-degree days coming in. So I'm going to be making egg salad, deviled ham, and anything that I can just to be comfortable because I'm not going to heat this kitchen up like crazy all day long. So there's not going to be a lot of baking, there's not going to be a lot of anything because I don't use air conditioners. And I don't want to overheat. At least it doesn't get as hot as it does in Texas. 112, I mean, we saw days like that. So we have chances of rain to bring the humidity up. And once it rains, it cools off. The night temperatures, I have fans, ceiling fans. They are so nice in the bedroom because you don't have to go into the covers, but the air is just enough like a breeze blowing on you. You don't have it on high or anything, but cool. So after you shower and you lay down, you have that nice breeze on your body. It's just like the breeze is blowing on you and you're sleeping outside. And saying that makes me think of when Jimmy, that's my older brother James, we called him Jimmy then. He and I think it was Michael, because those two are great friends. They were friends from when young to now, they're still friends. And they wanted to camp out. So the parents got them a tent, fixed it up, and left them in the backyard where they slept outside. They didn't want to go to sleep, so Daddy had to go out there and correct it. They were very excited. So this is going to be an egg salad. I'm going to do it different. I'm not making it with the pickle relish this time. I'm putting peppers in it. I'm going to serve it with, I think, a fruit cocktail today and some raw vegetables. And I don't have a lot of crackers, but the one that's getting the packed lunch is going to get crackers. And the one I'm going to use, though it's hot, I'm not going to use those regular saltines and stuff. I am going to use Crunchmaster multi-grain. And they're made with sea salt, and they have seeds in them. So this will be really good for him to have. I could eat the whole package by myself. They're really good. But like I've never hidden, I love whole grains and things like that. I think I came in this world loving whole grains. I had to learn how to make bread for that one reason, if nothing else. Because I noticed chefs how they cook. They use these white things. They don't use whole grains and stuff, and then they add seasonings and stuff to add flavor to it. But when you make your own stocks and you have all those peelings and stuff, it's got a lot of flavor. I mean, what are you looking for more flavor? When you add your flavoring, you don't, you just make it even more so than what it is. But they don't teach you that. And now they say the big thing is making candy. So you have to make sure, if you're making your own candy, that you sit there and get the natural stuff. So because candy has gelatin in it, and if you use Knox gelatin, you're going to end up tearing your hips and stuff up. Sure, you enjoy the candy when you're young, and the chocolates and everything, and then when you get old, you get all those pains, and then you're, what? Why did God do this to me? He didn't do anything to you. You did it to yourself. Can you reverse things? Yeah. If the whole organ isn't shut down and everything, sure. But they're talking about this coating comes over the pineal gland, which causes Alzheimer's, diabetes. They're finding the organs have the organ, I think it's the pancreas, can't sit there, and it's got a coating over it so it can't work. You want to know why? Alzheimer's wasn't even known till recently. We didn't have it before they started putting chemicals in it. Remember when I said if the body can't get rid of it, it's going to store it somewhere? Well, it puts it somewhere. and then you end up with diseases. This is why it's so important that you get away from those chemicals as much as you can. But in order to do that, it means you're going to have to go back into the kitchen, because that's where it's at. If you go to the store and trust these companies to do it, they're using chemicals and stuff to preserve this food. After they take all the nutrients out, which are over 40, they sit there and put 3 or 4 back in, maybe 6. 10 would be, that would be like over. And then they change the food, our grains, to the point where they're so starchy that we're not getting the B's and stuff that we're supposed to have. They sit there and change and are modifying our vitamins, not our vitamins, our fruits. And we don't know if those fruits have the high nutrients the way they're supposed to be in our food. So if vitamin C is high in a natural orange, they've changed it so much, blending it and mixing it up. How do we know we're still getting that amount of vitamin C? Or are we getting less? And because they're changing it, is it causing a chemical reaction inside the fruit where you can't absorb the vitamin C? We just don't know. And they say, oh, but you got to try this new fruit. We mix this up and that up together. But you really don't know what they're doing with our food. So you have to get as close as you can to health. You have to go in that kitchen, and man, you've got to do some crazy things. I don't believe my sons. I say, give me the bones. When you're done eating, give me those bones. And what do? I rinse them off, stick them in a bag, and stick them in the freezer, and then I'm going to boil them down, just so I can get the gelatin from them and put it in my rice, put it in my pasta, put it in my gravies, put it in my stews, soups, wherever I can put it to make sure that we get those minerals that our joints need. But most people say, oh, how could you do that after somebody's eaten? Listen, you have to do some things, you know? So I do what I have to do, and if people don't like it, well, you don't have to eat at my table. You know, that's how I look at it. If you don't like it, of course, in Texas, they tell you just drop dead, you know. You don't like what I'm doing? Drop dead. And then children say, ooh, I don't like this. My girlfriend, she said her sons don't like beef. They don't like this. And I said, she says, it's hot, Sandy. I don't know what to have. I said, why don't you have a simple chicken salad, She said, I'm sick of chicken. And I said, what? What's going on here? She said, they don't like beef. They don't like this. She's getting mad. I know when she hits the roof, she's going to be just like me. One hot mama. That's why my sons, I told them from little, I am no short order cook. What I make, everybody's eating. If you don't like it, you can go to bed hungry. That's what I was taught with my mother. She was no short order cook. So I don't tolerate it. So if you don't like it, go hungry. I don't care. And you have to be that way. Yes, you love your children, but it's going to come to a point where you're just going to have to, I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm chopping, okay? I chopped some scallions up. I chopped a celery rib up. And these peppers getting a little old. So I decided that I'll go ahead. I'm going to sneeze. I don't want to sneeze. So I'm just going to cut off what I don't want and do the others. Now they have seeds in them. And seeds have 2 chemicals that fight cancer. You don't want cancer, start eating your seeds. That's how I look at it. So I figured this will give me some color in this. But that's how I am. So I spend more time in the kitchen in the morning. It's the cooler hours, so I can do any cooking that I'm going to do. And let's see how it comes out. This one's going to be a little different than the other ones I've made. I thought about making some cottage cheese today, but I said, no, I gotta leave that on. No. I'm just going to put the eggs on. I had to make buttermilk this morning because I was running low. And that's another cool drink if you get your children started early, is buttermilk. It helps their digestive system. But I listen to people talk and I just go, shake my head. My sons can say I wasn't over fondly of something. They can say that, and that's about as far as they can go. Like my older son wanted grape lollipops. He didn't want blueberry. I had burnt trying to make it. I was doing something, I came back and it was over 300 and I burnt those. So I have to get some more flavorings and stuff, and I just got some. I got 12 of them. 12 flavors, and what I can't do with those, I said, oh, that's good. I'm going to try to make gummy bears with beer and adult candy, you could say, basically. I think the only thing it'll need is sugar and corn syrup and the beer. That might just be it, and because you wouldn't want any flavoring because the liquor will do that, you know. But I don't have, and I'm going to make it with Guinnesses because I want a strong flavor on them, and I don't have to add any coloring to it because they should come out a brown because of the Guinnesses, or a tan. I don't know if it will work, but hey, why not try it, you know? This is where all that canned fruit that I make comes in handy on days like this. And you know that I made breakfast sausage, right? The mixture of the meat. I found a muffin recipe that you put it in. So we're going to be making that very soon. I mean, what you would have to do is have soft-boiled eggs with it, or scrambled or fried. And you'd have your protein and everything in the biscuit, no, the muffins. You have to admit that's unusual. So I plan to try that because I did make my own sausage. And I did show you how to do it. And I think I have some salami left, so I'm also going to serve some salami, not in this, but next to it. So I think it'll be interesting how this is going to come out. It's going to be a big platter of a little of this and a little of that. The only thing is I'll have to take my slicer out because I cannot slice it thin and level, but that slicer does a beautiful job. And when I make, start trying to make luncheon meats, I'll need a slicer anyway. But then you can get away from their chemicals. And you can sit there and have it. And I've had people say, oh, you're lucky you don't have this problem or that problem. It's not luck. It's actually trying to eat well, because what you put in your body is definitely going to show up as you get older. So if you've taken care of the body, when you get old, your body will be working for you still. It might not be as strong as you were, or it takes you a little longer to do something, but you get it down. So they say, as I'm just giving you some information that's been coming to me, that plaque that you get on your teeth gets in your arteries, which causes high blood pressure. So my thing is why would you have plaque there? Well, the body stores the chemicals. If they can't use them and they can't get it out of the system, they're going to put it somewhere. And some of the foods that we eat have glue in it. And what does glue do? Makes things stick. So if it's in the blood and it goes and touches the walls, it's going to stick there. And you think of how big they are around the heart. So that's a good place to put it. So you're probably saying, now you're scaring me. Yeah, I know. It's frightening. I'm not going to tell you. It isn't. It is frightening. Because we don't know. I mean, I get in touch with the companies. I'll sit there and call them. I find that number and I call and what did you put in the, they can't answer me. Or they say, we'll send it to research and they'll get in touch with you. They don't get in touch with me. They're hiding what they're doing. They're not being honest. They really are not. So, you can't trust them. There's a lot of companies that I don't buy things from. Because of that, because I have called, I have requested. I want to know, is it natural? Are you using this? Are you using that? What is this? You see those chemicals? Read up on them. And then you'll find out what you're doing to your family. And people say, oh, it's hereditary. Hereditary, arthritis is hereditary in my family. I don't have any arthritis, but I don't eat the way they do either. I got into nutrition because I don't like pain. Well, actually, I don't like pain, and I had a lot of pain in my menstrual cycles, and I had to find out there's got to be something. I can't see God torturing a woman every month. You know, like that. And it said, ... And I said, okay, I could do this. And at first I wasn't getting many results. And then slowly I noticed it was easy. It wasn't bothering me anymore. And I had my disposition back instead of being a grump at that time. So I was happy. So I said, okay. So when I got pregnant, I had 1 day of morning sickness. Pulled my book out and changed in a hurry. Never had it for the rest of the time. Ate my way through my pregnancy. Even in labor, I was eating. And my husband said, you are going to upchuck, Sandy. I said, I'm hungry, and I am going to eat. I went to the cabinet and took an extra B6. I said, there. Now I know everything will stay down. It stayed down. He said, you're in transition. You cannot have a glass of milk. I said, I want milk. Can I have a glass of milk? He said, she's going to bring it up. He put the pail there. He said, I know she's going to upchuck. No, I did not. And after going through menopause, press it one way, I'm going to do it another way. So, after menopause, he looked at me. The menopause went very easily. I haven't had any hot flashes or anything. I took my red clover blossom, which is natural estrogen in a plant. It helps women through that. He turned to me and he said, Sandy, you have broken every rule in pregnancy. Everything that I was ever taught in pregnancy and birthing, you have undone it. He said, I can't believe what you did in that pregnancy. And those pregnancies, I just can't. It's just so hard to believe you broke every rule. And I said, well then, it seems nutrition plays a very big hand in your labor, your pregnancy, your menstrual cycles, and everything else. And they said that's what it proved. Okay, I've got 1 dozen hard-boiled eggs here, so I am going to be dicing these up. I stick them with what I have in there. I really don't know what I'm going to do with this. I mean, I had Adele Davis's natural baby formula if you couldn't nurse, you know. And doctors, after she died, they had it removed out of her book, and I'm still looking for it. And they do it. This is what they do to keep us ignorant. Doctors, the medical, those lobbyists and stuff. Government doesn't work for us anymore. It works for them. But they weren't afraid. Like camphor oil, camphorated oil, we used to sit there and get and put in our ears, right? When we had a cold. Because somebody came to this country and thought it was cooking oil, and they used it for cooking oil and got very sick. We have to pay the penalties for it. We can't get it. So you go to the ARE, buy the camphor, and you have to make your own. By the way, it's very easy to make. You must know. Because we had to make it. I should be able to go and buy it and not have to go through those steps. So if you believe the government and they're worried about your health when you get old and you look like a prune or you look like death warmed over and you're still walking, they wonder why you haven't died yet. I mean, I was just informed by somebody, when you hit your late 70s, you start losing your teeth. Wait a minute. Adam lived a long time. Moses lived a long time. I don't think they had dentures. Why would I lose my teeth if I'm eating well and the roots are strong? It would have to be that you withdrew all the calcium and your jawbone, the bone itself, is so weak, it shrinks. And when it shrinks, the roots have nothing to hold on to, then your teeth fall out. Then you have to get dentures. But why would your jawbone shrink if you're eating well? It would be because of a lifetime of not eating well. My brother James says, well, I ate everything in front of me. Yeah, you ate everything in front of you, but it didn't mean it was nutritious. So that's why you lose your teeth. The jawbones shrink. If you take drugs, drink a lot of alcohol, take a lot of medicine, starts interfering with that digestive system, or your digestive system is poor, yeah, you're going to lose your teeth. You're also going to lose height as well, because where the hip and the leg hook up, come off to the side and then come down, that area there starts deteriorating, causing hip fractures. Headaches are caused from other problems. Isn't that nice to know? Health. When was the last time I had a headache? Let's see, my husband has been dead for a while. I haven't had a headache since then. I didn't have a headache when he was real sick and I was careful. I didn't have time to have a headache. We're talking 20 years. A good 20 years I haven't had a headache. It's not luck. It is not luck at all. My son sat there and he told me sometimes his bones hurt when it's because he likes gummy bears, okay, so he ate them. When I looked up and I found out what it did, so he ate my gummy bears. He said, I don't hurt, Mommy. He said, that's what they're putting in the candy, synthetic. Another problem they talk about that elders don't like to talk about is when you're at a certain age, you lose bladder control. In other words, if you sneeze or something, and now young women are experiencing this, that's protein. Remember when I said your body robs Peter to pay Paul? If it comes to the bladder or it comes to the heart to keep the body alive, the body will draw away from the bladder proteins and they will give it to the heart. Or if the liver needs it, they'll move it there. But it's robbing Peter to pay Paul because you're not getting enough of what you need. If you want more bladder control, you should increase on your protein. If I don't get enough, I could end up with a problem. So I count my grams to make sure. They say now, people who sit on the toilet a long time trying to go to the bathroom causes problems with the colon and stuff. It's been said at the ARE and the readings and stuff that you should be able to urinate and move your bowels within 1 minute. Longer than that, you're constipated. Hey, I only bring the information. So, it seems as we learn, I'm going to put salt and pepper on this now. Let me get this out of the way so you can see some things on there. So it just depends upon where the body stores all these lovely chemicals they're putting in our food. Isn't that nice to know? I mean, we should get so excited and say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for giving me unhealthy. And that's being sarcastic, isn't it? See, I remember Jane Fonda. Burning the bras and taking the apron off was, we're not going to stay in the house anymore. She wants to make her own money. This is oregano. Cayenne pepper, why not, right? So you see somebody doing recipes and they have instant this and instant that. I'm gonna add salt now. Sure, they can add it. They can buy all those instant things and stuff. But down the road, there's going to be, excuse the phrase, but this is a Southern phrase, hell is coming. And that is a phrase, hell is coming. So, you think about it. I spend a lot of money. You know, if I want something expensive, I save up from one shopping week to another and just until I get that amount of money that I want. And then I go and buy what I want because it is tight. We have to make it work. I'm not stating, you know, oh, I want you to spend all your money on food. I'm not stating that. I'm just informing you of things that if you sit there and wonder why, it's because of your actions or things that you've done that have caused you to the point of where you're at in your health. And I'm just talking about health. I'm not talking about anything else. And the body will, and I am 71 and I can state it, your body will let you know in time. If you start falling apart at 40, my younger son met a woman and she was carrying on. Her husband, you know, she was talking, and my son said, "What is wrong with you?" She said, I'm 45, I'm having a midlife crisis. So he said, "You want to see my mother?" Got a picture, said, "There." She's 71. And then her husband she looked at her husband and said, "I have nothing to complain about." Oh my God, some stories I get are so funny. Now, if you want to make a little twang to this, we can add some mustard. So let me go get the mustard and we'll add some twang to it. Okay, I am thinking about adding a tablespoon of mustard, a Dijon mustard that I made. When you see all my jars, big pints, quarts, this is stuff that I've canned. And when I start canning, you'll see that too. All right, I think a tablespoon should be enough of it added to this. Now we're going to stir this up. No, I don't need the small spoon today. We'll mix this up before we add the mayonnaise. So this one's a little different. My new cookbook came in last night. I have been reading it and I said, oh my God, I can't wait to get into that one. I've got so many cookbooks to get into. It's just mind-boggling. Some of them don't have as many interesting recipes, and then I get other ones that are loaded with it. Oh, I say, oh my God, how am I going to get through all these? One woman said, I would love to get my hands on your cookbooks. Oh God. Yeah, I know it's hot. Just adding mayonnaise and then mixing it up, that's all. Nothing important. I'm going to see if I have to add more onion to it. I just wanted to use green onions, better known as scallions, but if it's not, I'll take an onion and dice it up and do this. I'm gonna have to dice an onion up. Just gonna chop an onion up. Oh, I am going to start crying. This is very, very juicy. So I'm going to have a quiet day today. Yeah, the house might need to be cleaned and stuff, but in this heat, I will stay quiet like I was taught long ago. That's what animals do. If you watch the animals, when it's in the heat of the day, they stay quiet, they cat nap, but you won't find them. They'll come out after. I might actually do some embroidery today. I have a tablecloth I'm working on with beautiful white and yellow flowers. It's all cross stitch, but I just happen to like the pattern. And this is so bland without the onion. I thought the other onions might be enough, but it wasn't. Okay, I'm gonna mix it up again. Oh. Yes. I get very emotional over onions. They're like a good friend. You know how to get to you. It needed the onion. That was making me cry. It's done. It's a very simple one. It's nothing spectacular today. And you're still getting to me. That was a very ripe onion. Well, listen, I am going to go get a fruit cocktail, lay out a plate, roll up platter in a container for my son to take to work, one of them. The other one has not gotten up, so I guess he's going to be home today, so he'll eat with me when it's time. So I want you to take care. do stay safe in this heat. And enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.